This is Radio Random Network. Find us on the web at www.radiorandomnetwork.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes.
You're backstage with hashtag RDM on Radio Random Network. Now, here's the host, hashtag RDM, Russell Devin McLain.
All right, welcome to Backstage with hashtag RDM right here on the Radio Random Network. I am hashtag RDM Russell Devin McLain. Thank you so much for hitting that play button on iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you're listening to us from. Today I got a great guest that's going to be joining me here shortly. I'm talking about none other than the winner of the 5th season of American Idol, Mr. Taylor Hicks. Taylor's got a lot of great stuff going on, and he's going to be joining me here to tell us all about it in a few minutes. And you got to excuse me, I am a little under the weather this week, but it doesn't matter. I'm here, we're getting it done, and that's what it's all about. I want to thank all my friends on Twitter for tweeting and retweeting about Taylor being on the show. It means a lot to us. You can follow us on Twitter at RRNLive or at Backstage_RDM. And you can find all that at www.radiorandomnetwork.com. With all of that said, Nothing But the Hits tour is still happening. It's still going on. We had a chance to catch the show live Saturday night over at the Grand Opry House of the South in Crowley, Louisiana. It featured Ronnie McDowell, Mandy Barnett, Deborah Allen, Ken Mellons, bunch of great stars. They're still out there doing it. And with all that said, let's pay a bill. And when we come back, I'm going to be talking to none other than the one and only Mr. Taylor Hicks. You've subscribed. You're listening. Now, enjoy.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
The Nothing But the Hits Christmas Tour, starring Ronnie McDowell and Friends, is a one-of-a-kind show you don't want to miss. 20 of the music industry's most talented artists and musicians will take the stage in 16 of America's greatest cities in the Nothing But the Hits Tour. See multi-million selling artists like Ronnie McDowell.
Older women are beautiful lovers. I said older women, they understand.
Plus, Jeff Bates.
Starting with some long, slow kisses.
Ken Mellons.
Oh, I'm just an old jukebox junkie.
And Deborah Allen.
But baby, I like when I told you I could walk away.
Plus, Amber Hayes, Tia Goins, Mandy Barnett, Nadira Shakur, and Tommy Cash will do a tribute to his brother, one of the greatest country legends of all time, Johnny Cash.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher.
Don't miss the Nothing But the Hits Christmas Tour, starring Ronnie McDowell and Friends, and featuring some of the greatest icons of country music. For a tour schedule, artist lineup, and ticket information for your city, just go to nothingbutthehits.com and click on Tour Schedule and Ticket Information. And be sure to like Nothing But the Hits on Facebook.
Blue, blue, blue Christmas.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes.
All right, friend, I'm going to give you an intro, and we're going to take off, my man. And
all right,
we'll get this thing done. All right, my guest this week on Backstage with hashtag RDM right here on the Radio Random Network. He is the winner of American Idol, and he's got all kind of great stuff going on. I'm talking to none other than Blue-Eyed Soul himself, Mr. Taylor Hicks. How you doing, Mr. Taylor?
I'm doing good. It's good to hear a nice Louisiana drawl there.
Good, thank you, brother. You kind of got that going on, too. I mean, you from around these parts?
Yeah, I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And the reason I'm laughing, before we got on, he was asking me about the situation with the coach down here for LSU, and then he turns around and tells me he's from Birmingham, Alabama. Have mercy. Well, brother, you got a lot of things going on. First thing we want to touch on, you got a new single coming out in celebration for the holiday seasons, Silent Night, man. What inspired you to do this?
You know, it's my favorite Christmas song. I've always enjoyed singing it, you know, when we're in church and stuff like that. You know, I just think the world of it, and I enjoyed, you know, performing it. So I got in the studio and started messing around a little bit, and it just kind of took kind of took a life of its own. So I decided to release the first single.
That's pretty interesting. That's awesome. Taylor, let's back up a little bit, man, because there's something I want to know personally. Was music something that was a part of your household when you was growing up as a child?
Yeah, nobody played instruments. My mother's side of the family were, they were kind of the musical side. That I grew up and, I played a lot of sports actually when I was a kid, but when I started teaching myself instruments, the direction kind of changed. So, it was always good music was always around, but as far as performing it, playing it, no, never was. But, I obviously enjoyed it, and I took it up pretty quickly when I was a kid.
Yes, indeed. Well, with that said, Taylor, I mean, who were some of your inspirations as you were growing as a musician? Who were some of the other artists that inspired you?
Ray Charles, Van Morrison, Bob Seger, some of those guys. It's kind of a blue-eyed soul, singer kind of mentality. So, Ray Charles first and foremost, and then Van and Bob Seger, and all of it. I like all of it. If you feel it and it's good, then do it.
Amen, brother. I remember when you was doing the American Idol thing not too long ago, and everybody's sitting around, and we're all musicians down here. Naturally, we're cover bands, but even so, everybody down here was rooting for you, musician-wise, because you were like one of us. It was the feeling. Everything's about feeling, and that's one cool thing we really enjoyed about you.
I appreciate that. I got a lot of fans in Louisiana, and I'm kind of semi-adopted Louisiana. I was one of the first taxi cab rides out of Hurricane Katrina, and that's how I won American Idol. I was in contraflow traffic for 15 hours, drove to West Monroe, Louisiana, then on over to Birmingham after the storm passed, and Southwest canceled my flight, gave me a free ticket anywhere in the country, and I flew to Vegas on a whim. I got there at about midnight, and then my brother called me and said, "You're not going to believe it. American Idol tryouts are in 2 hours." So after Hurricane Katrina, I went from Hurricane Katrina to American Idol, and then I was back in New Orleans the next year as the King of Endymion Parade. It was so I got a lot of Louisiana in me.
That's awesome, man. I didn't know that. That's pretty neat. Now, one thing about the holiday season as well, you're involved with the Toys for Tots too, correct?
Yeah, I am. I always enjoy being around, being with that organization during Christmas time because, it doesn't. You're not dealing in money. You don't know where the money's. A lot of these organizations, you don't know where money's changing hands at. I mean, this is a toy in hand that is given to a child in need, and that's something that I like. It's concrete, and you can that child is going to have a happy Christmas.
Yes, indeed. That's awesome, Taylor. Let's talk a little bit about some of your current projects. First and foremost, you got Under the Radar, which is a deluxe edition. You can find it at TaylorHicks.com. And there's also In Your Time. Tell us a little bit about the inspirations off of both albums there.
Well, I've always had them for sale, during the merchandise part of my show, but they haven't been released digitally. And so that's, with that being said, nowadays, a lot of people are doing that. So I figured I would release them and give something, a little bit of a bonus track in there. And then, and that way people can download them digitally.
Yes, indeed. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, you're also involved in some restaurants, correct?
I got a barbecue joint called Saul's Good Joint in Birmingham, Alabama. It's got, I'm definitely, I've spent too many years on the road and being from Alabama not to be a foodie. I like good food. And,
yes, indeed.
Saul's has, Mike Wilson has started it, and I got into it with him, and he's got some great dishes, and I just, I fell in love with it. And it's easy. If you love something, you can sell it, and that in barbecue, that's something that I love, traveling and finding a great pork place, and that's something that I love. And luckily, Saul's has been critically acclaimed. I think I think it was #1 in Men's Journal this month. So I as far as barbecue restaurants in the country. So I'm very happy about what the pig's doing and at Saul's.
Yes, indeed. Well, with all of that said, man, you're cooking. You got a lot of things going on for the holiday season. You're putting out music. What do you do? I mean, when you do have spare time, what do you do for fun, brother?
I like golf. I like to play golf when it's nice, and then I'll go to concerts and just hang out, watch a lot of football, obviously. And just I enjoy. I don't get a lot of free time, but when I do, I make the most of it.
Yes, indeed. That's awesome. Taylor, I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. I know you got a busy schedule ahead of you, and you got a lot of great things going on, and it was an honor and pleasure to talking with you. But before we go, is there anything you want to shout out or say to the Soul Patrol out there?
Well, I hope I can be down through it. I hope to see everybody in Louisiana real soon. I love that place.
Yes, indeed. But when you get down here, we'll surely be plugging it, and hopefully we'll get by to see you. Pretty sure we'll probably get by to see you. With all of that said, Taylor, thank you so much for joining me today, my friend. I'm going to let you get back to your busy day. And anytime you got anything else going on, be sure and holler at us here at the Radio Random Network.
Hey, thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too, Taylor.
All right. Bye.
All right, there you have it from the man himself, Mr. Taylor Hicks. I want to thank Taylor for joining me today on the show, and I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. If you want to know any more information about Taylor Hicks, how you can pick up his music, where he's going to be touring at, and all that good stuff, you can just simply go to TaylorHicks.com. You can find everything you want to know about the singer there. And with all of that said, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, Friday, we're going to be on the Russell and Mudtooth show right here on the Radio Random Network. And we're going to be talking about the Nothing But the Hits tour. It's going to be all about the Nothing But the Hits tour. We got some backstage interviews with the artists themselves, from Ronnie McDowell, Tommy Cash, Deborah Allen, and Mandy Barnett joined myself and Mudtooth and gave us a little insight on what it's like to be on tour. So be sure and tune in for that. And with all of that said, guys, don't forget, 'tis the season. Got about a week and a half left for Christmas, and you can do all your Christmas shopping online at Amazon by simply going to RadioRandomNetwork.com/Amazon. That's right. Every time you use that link, they kick a little bit of money back to us for production costs and all that good stuff. And be sure and bookmark RadioRandomNetwork.com/Amazon to do all your online shopping. With all of that said, it's done. I want to thank you so much for joining me this week. Next week, we're going to have country music duo on Low Cash. I'm going to be talking with them next Tuesday, and be sure and tune in for that. I want to thank you all for a great 2015. We've had a successful year, and it's all because of you. And with all of that said, guys, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you Friday with the Russell and Mudtooth show. It's going to be dedicated to Nothing But the Hits, Ronnie McFriend's tour. And then we'll be back next Tuesday with Low Cash. Thank you all. We love you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. God bless. I'm #RDM Russell Devin McLain. We'll see you down the road.
Tune in every Tuesday at 7:05 p.m. Central Standard Time for a show created for musicians and music lovers alike. Backstage with #RDM. For more information about the hosts, guests, or our other weekly programs, visit RadioRandomNetwork.com.
Thanks for listening